Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
And it feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light, when you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
So I'll start by asking you to think about a part of yourself you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with.
I feel like I haven't been as in touch recently with the creative side of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to reconnect with that.
Okay. And when you are feeling creative or that creative side of you, where do you notice that? Or what sensations does that bring about in or around your body?
I think I feel it in my hands, wanting to do something very hands-on.
Okay. And as you notice it in your hands, how would you say you feel towards the creative part?
Curious?
Okay. Great. So see if you can turn towards it and let it know that you're curious about it and that you'd like to get to know it in this conversation and see how it reacts to that.
I don't know.
How close are you to that part? Are you able to deepen your access to it in any way?
I'm not really sure what you mean.
Okay. So the sensation, the feeling in your hands, and this part of you that is creative, you might also think about when you're being creative, how you feel. And just look for any other kind of definition around that feeling or
Mm-hmm.
if you can visualize a part, if you're some people kind of just feel an energy or a vibe, and then just see if you can kind of approach it or turn towards it. Is any of that possible?
I definitely like feel kind of like an energy, but I'm not sure how to like, I don't know, approach it.
Okay. Is there a part of you that is reluctant to get to know the creative part?
Maybe.
Okay. You might ask any part like that if it'll just step back and soften just for the purpose of this conversation, so that you can get to know the creative part and see if you get anything from that.
I'm not really sure.
Okay. I'm going to try something. This might just feel free to. This might not do anything, but we'll give it a shot. If there's a part that kind of blocks your access to the creative part, what would that feel like? Or if you're wanting to be creative, what gets in the way? What is the feeling that gets in the way like?
Some kind of like worry about not being good enough, or
Okay.
not my art not being meeting whatever expectation I set for myself.
Yeah. And how do you feel towards that part?
Silly. Like, I feel like, I don't know, like art should just be fun.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be as worried about that.
Okay. So I'm hearing two parts. One is the not really feeling good enough about the art, and the other is this kind of judgment about that it's like a silly thing to feel that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it would be better to make contact with one of those parts to get to know the creativity better. We could go to one of these parts first.
Okay.
So when you think about the kind of not being good enough feeling, and it feels silly to feel that way, are there any other feelings that come up when you think about accessing that part, that not good enough part?
I feel kind of tired. I don't know if I'm just tired in general or if that's like part of it.
Okay. Would it be okay for us to try to get to know the part that feels like it's silly? Feels like it's silly to feel that way. Okay. And
sure.
If it sounds like I'm all over the place here, actually, there's some method to how I'm making these choices.
Okay.
But all right. So focusing on the part that feels like it's silly. Where do you notice that in or around your body?
My head.
Okay. And what sensations? What's it like? How do you notice it?
Feels kind of heavy.
Okay. And how do you feel towards that part?
Like I want it to go away.
Okay. So see if you can ask the part that wants it to go away if it will give us some space to get to know it in this conversation, to get to know the part that heaviness in the head part. See how that reacts.
It felt like it kind of stepped down. It was just like, okay.
Okay. And now, how are you feeling towards that heavy feeling in the head part?
More accepting.
Okay.
I feel like I can just kind of let it be as it is rather than like trying to push it away.
Okay. See if you can ask it a question and ask it what it wants you to know or what it wants you to know about it, and just wait for the answer.
I feel like it said that it's, just here. It's not like a threat or anything to me. It's not something I need to be like super worried about. It's just here.
And try asking it what it's afraid would happen if it didn't call this other part silly, if it didn't get your attention that way.
I think it's trying to, like, kind of the thing that's like, if I, judge myself, then I can, like, prevent myself from being vulnerable and being judged by anyone else.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So let it know that that makes sense to you. And see if you can show it some appreciation for its intention in keeping you safe, keeping you from being vulnerable. And see how it reacts to that.
I definitely feel that gratitude. It's warm.
Yeah. You could try asking it, if you could heal the part that feels like it's not good enough to do art, if you could heal that, and then this other part would be freed up from its job, what might it like to do instead inside of you?
Help me to learn new things and, like, new art techniques and take in art.
It's awesome.
View and enjoy other people's art.
That's great. And how are you being with it now? Do you visualize it? Do you see it or sense it? Or Do you have a proximity to it?
I don't know.
Okay. Try asking it how old it thinks you are, and just wait for the answer.
I don't know.
Okay. So this part, it was saying that it's silly to feel not good enough, but really it wants to prevent you from being hurt. You showed some appreciation to it. It's talking about helping you learn new art techniques. What does it need from you in the future to do that job and to have that different role of promoting your art? What does it need from you in the future? Just try asking it.
Patience.
And what would that look like?
Continuing trying when I feel like something isn't meeting my standards instead of giving up on it.
Okay. Well, that's usually all the questions that I ask for this type of part. I would thank it and kind of recommend checking in with it in the future or more regularly. The other, I think something that came up was this part that worries that the art won't be good enough. And I think that is, that's the part that this part is protecting.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be kind of the next step, the next layer, which we don't have to do today. And in fact, it would probably take a considerable amount of time, and it's usually a lot more vulnerable of a process.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just kind of letting you know that would be the roadmap I would see of going forward. Would be trying to get to that part that feels like it's not good enough, and seeing if you can get to know it and unburden it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll leave it up to you. If you'd like to end the call and thank this part and go on, that's great. And I'll, of course, invite you back. And if you want to try accessing that other part. I'm happy to do that with you too.
I think we could save that for next time.
Okay, great.
Cool. All right, sounds good.
Okay, it's nice talking with you today.
You too. Thanks, James.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Zikri, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.